It's saying on Sunday. See, when they do it over this app is really stupid because it just doesn't give you a total.
Yeah, I understand. I use both.
Nyack, right? I'm in
Okay.
Nyack. It
And-
says Sunday, 2 to 3 inches, but then Monday, 4 to 5 inches. So 6 to 8 inches.
YouTube.
So we're live on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got snow coming. This is your snow report
Yes.
for the metro area. All right, welcome everybody to a very special meeting of the Village Board of Trustees for the Village of Nyack. It is February 20th, 2026, a little after 1 p.m. We're going to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I don't have any specific remarks. This is the special meeting we're taking to do a couple of very quick things. I'm opening up for public comment because we always do public comment in the meetings, but I don't see anybody here for public comment. There is no public hearing. We do not need to adopt the minutes today. Our action items start with action item 6.1, resolution 26-35 to award a contract for the Memorial Park Shoreline Pathway. Can I get this on the table?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion, Andy, tell us about the posture of this.
It's a very important project. It's been designed, it's been bid out. The village board now has the option of actually awarding the contract to the builder. And this resolution enables you to do that. The engineering consulting firm provided recommendations as to who to award it to. It was somewhat of a complex process because they're not going with the lowest bidder for reasons that are explained in their memo. And the next one up is ATEC, which we have a lot of confidence in. And that's the gist of the story.
Okay. And I think the point is that it is we generally default to the lowest bidder, but in certain circumstances, we're allowed to go to what we consider the lowest responsible bidder who's able to actually complete the project if we have some concerns about the project being outside the experience of the lowest bidder, or there's some concern that they might be misapprehending the nature of some of the work or some of the cost of the work, and that we might be looking at some overruns and whatnot.
Right.
And we did have a meeting with Maruti Construction on a Zoom call earlier this week, where we presented them some of our concerns, and I don't feel that they really had a particularly effective response to those. They seem like a very fine firm that does a lot of very good work, but they've not done work like this before. They've done mostly buildings, not shoreline type work, which I think, especially shoreline on a public waterway, has some unique characteristics that I think we want someone more experienced with doing that kind of work, doing this. So that justified, as you can see in the whereas clauses, it justified looking to other bidders, which we, having given Maruti a chance to be able to I don't know, appeal the situation or to contest the decision, we gave them an opportunity to do so. After further consideration, we've decided we're recommending going with the ATEC bid. And anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, I do. Quickly, so the match, we're getting a funding for $531,000, which includes our 20% local match. So we're going to get $417,000 in New York State funds. Right. The project is coming in at $900 and something thousand. The shortfall, how will we finance that shortfall?
Bond.
What?
Bond.
Bonds. Okay. Good.
Yeah, you can expect to see resolution soon, working with Kyle and our finance advisor on
Good.
covering that gap.
Okay. Good answer.
Just a clarification in Joe's comment that we default to the lowest bidder. If the statute, the competitive bidding statute in New York State General Municipal, I think it's section 103, I think it's cited in the resolution. It's actually the lowest responsible bidder.
bidder.
You did mention that in a follow-up sentence. It's the lowest responsible bidder, and you're one of the whereases, one of the findings in your resolution is that you're not finding the lowest monetary bidder to be responsible in the meaning of that statute. Responsible in the sense that you just described, you summarized, doesn't show the experience of a project of this type or of this magnitude, et cetera. So it's lowest responsible bidder is your
Okay.
legal obligation.
Understood. And that's exactly right. It's the equivalent of in a real estate transaction, when you get multiple bids, the highest bid price wise might not be the best offer because there might be other contingencies in the offer that make the price not the only determining factor. So
So.
price is never, is always an important factor, but it's never the determining factor if there are other considerations involved, which there are here. Which there are here. So, then this was the second, I think it was the second lowest bid is the one that we're taking. And it comes from a company that has a long history of doing work like this, so that gives us some comfort and security.
Are they able to commit to a project completion date by July 4th? Or listed it by July? End of
End of June.
That's in the contract.
It's in the contract. That's what that's the goal. It's whether, you never know what's gonna happen between now and June, but they're aware of the exigencies of trying to have it done, and if not done, then have it not be where there's fencing and whatnot blocking off the water and whatnot, which would be unfortunate. Because we have a lot going on the 4th of July weekend.
Yes, we do.
All right. Any other comments or questions? We're on the, I'm sorry, to make you call me, saying you had a break.
Yeah, I ran from my apartment and then I ran everywhere else, so I'm fine, whatever you all discussed, I'm sure is valid for now. Sorry, guys.
Well, let me just summarize it. We had multiple bids.
Yes,
The
the second
the
lowest was or the lowest was not the best, and then the second.
lowest was not
better.
the lowest, not the most yeah, was it the
Lowest spot, the statute says lowest responsible bidder.
Lowest
You're
responsible.
Determining that the lowest monetary bid was not a responsible bidder in terms of the scope and the scope of the work, the type of work, the experience of that low monetary bidder. And the word responsible is a statutory word used in the New York State competitive bidding statute. Doesn't mean that
they're irresponsible?
it's
Not a
pejorative.
pejorative.
It's not in
Yeah.
any way assessment of the character
Well, yeah, it's just a matter of whether they're capable of doing the work, right?
or experience. et
Yeah,
cetera.
yeah,
So that's the reason why we are turning to what we consider to be the lowest responsible bid, which is the bid from ATEC.
no
Which
worries.
is the second lowest.
Second lowest monetary bid, and the lowest responsible bid. All right, any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor? Aye, motion carries unanimously. Thank you, and thank you for coming in to do this, because time is of the essence to get this thing contracts worked out and get work started, because we want to try to have it done by the end of June. We don't have any departmental reports, old business, new business. We have a new business application for a No Kings event on March 28th from noon to 2. You can see there's a letter in here. We generally we've had all these conversations about park permits and things like that. Generally, when it comes to political events, we defer, we don't discriminate. So anybody, who wants to do a political event, we don't have a speech,
Free speech.
we don't have a speech provision of only certain types of speech are allowed. So whatever, it is a big event. It does have a lot of people.
Yeah, 200.
It will, by definition, sort of be an event that takes over part of the park, takes over part of the park for their own usage, cutting off other people from using the park, but it's
This is the
for,
lower part, right?
I think they're on the
This
lower
would be by
part.
the gazebo.
Yeah, the
gazebo.
gazebo, okay.
But they're not gonna take the upper part, A, and B, it's only for 2 hours, so it's not,
And anybody
It's
from the
different.
public who wants to participate, obviously welcome.
it's open to the public, yeah, it's just that the public can't
There's no fees, there's no
Yeah.
registration,
Yeah.
it's just a public.
But let us reiterate the fact that this event, which is a No Kings rally, which might be perceived to be aligned with political viewpoints expressed by members of the board, it's not a reason pro or con to allow this. The reason to allow this is that someone's gonna be exercising First Amendment rights, and in a way that is not, it stretches a little bit the time, place, manner restrictions we're allowed to put on it, because we don't generally like to huge events in the park, but 2 hours, 200 people, open to everybody, no fee. I think it's an acceptable use of the park and a traditional use of the park for these kinds of events. This is what public parks have been used for time immemorial.
Could we just move that to resolution so they can start with their planning process?
Sure. All right, so can we, this would be resolution
It would be.
2636.
It'd be number
36. A resolution to approve an application for a rally at Memorial Park on March 28th from 12 to 2 p.m. for approximately 200 people, which will involve speakers and performers and amplified sound.
And if we could just use the word event instead of rally.
An event instead of rally.
I like that.
All right, with that, as Andy's amended the general contours of it. With that as the resolution, can I get that on the table?
So motion,
Second.
Any comments or questions about it? All in favor?
I,
Aye. Motion carries. Any abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we have one abstention. Do you want to explain the abstention on the record or?
I mean, sure, I'm involved with the organization, so I don't feel like I should be voting in favor or against this resolution.
That's what I figured, and that's why I thought it was probably good for you to put it on the record, so. And for the record, Deputy Mayor did not participate in the discussions either of the proposal. All right, no other business. I'll give another opportunity for public comment. Nobody here. We did want to do we had some old business. I think that's why we have Manny's here to talk about some old business, right?
Yeah.
Talk about this. Let's bring that up.
The board had expressed a desire to know more about the building department's personnel
yes,
That's
sort
right.
of approach, and Manny wanted to provide that information to you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Absolutely. I understand you had a couple of questions about the new hires. I'm here to answer any question you may have. First, I want to say thank you very much for approving those 2 new hires. Definitely it's a big asset to the building department and to the village overall. We went through a very intensive review process to select these 2 individuals. They are very highly qualified for the position, very professional. So we're very happy with them, and we do anticipate that they're going to bring a lot to the village in the long run. Right now, we had the part-timer Christian Amano, who started yesterday, was the first day. And obviously, he came in hitting the road running quickly. Started with some training. And the reason for the part-timer, and I want to give you a quick overview on that, is it's a position that has been there for quite a long time. We haven't used it. Prior to my arrival to the village, Dania Carpino was here, and Paul and Vinny Florentino were just the 3 inspectors in the village. And it was very overwhelming for them. They were not able to cover all the bases because of the lack of personnel that they had at that time. Then Vinny Florentino retired, and that left Paul and Don for few years, at least 2 to 3 years before I came on board as the fire inspector. During that time, a lot of things were left behind because, of course, they were not able to do that, especially the filing system. It got, a little bit confusing and complicated. So the person that is here as a part-timer today will be fixing that problem for us. It's very time-consuming, very tedious. So I'm having going through every single file, thousands of files of every property in the village individually to clean them up, put them in chronological order, put them in a numerical order so we can easily find the information. So when the general public and the building department goes to pull a file, they can easily find the information on that property. All right, so that's his main responsibility, and that's when it takes some serious time. Not only everything that is in the building department, in the office, but we also have records in the basement, in the vault, and in another room that, in all that needs to be put into order. Now, if we need to go to the basement, you're going to spend at least an hour there or more searching for things. We want to be able to do just, 9 North Broadway. Well, here it is. We know exactly where it is, and it's organized. That's the purpose for that. For me or any one of the staff members to do that, it's gonna take us away from our daily business, which is extremely busy right now, as you know, with all the projects that we got going on. So that's the purpose for that position. It's gonna be a really big improvement to us in the department.
And that's Christian's position.
That's Christian position, he started yesterday. He's working 3 days, 17 and a half hours. For now, it will be Thursday and Fridays, and Saturday, 3.5 hours, which he'll be working with me directly so I can train him properly and dedicate him the time that he needs so he knows exactly what to do.
I think, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna take him to the process of understanding what to look for in the file, what each document is, what's a site plan, what's a building permit, what's everything. So when he's reading through it, he knows what order to put it in. And I will make that time on Saturday because it's easier for me that I don't have all these other distractions throughout the day. Once he feel comfortable and I feel comfortable that he knows, then he's gonna go to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Because we need him here during the week to also help out a full-timer, which is Kelly Manioli, which is gonna be starting on March 4th. He also gonna be her assistant to do other little things, which, you know, it's.
Are you gonna be, while he's doing that and organizing and categorizing everything, is this gonna be uploaded into a paperless, document system?
Absolutely, and thank you for asking that question. That is the whole purpose of doing that. I'm working with Linda. We are trying to see if we can get some grant out there so we can digitize all the files and upload into the new program that we have. So the entire building department will be in the cloud. We won't have to deal with paper. We won't have to deal with files. We're gonna take all of that and scan it all in.
Do you have an estimate of how long all of this will take? Is there an end date or is there?
I'm hoping before the end of the year, we are getting ready to go with the money and everything in place to start scanning
In another year, so
at the end of this year.
this year.
This year, by the end of this year, we should have everything in place. We gotta select a company that will do all that for us, get all the contract ready and.
Oh, so
the
that can be
dates.
done in-house.
Do we have the money or are we trying to get the money?
Well, we're trying to get the money, so we don't have to use budget money.
Where's the money for? What,
There are programs out there that can give us money. There's another municipality in New Hampshire, I believe it is, that they did it already, so I'm gonna go have a meeting with them and find out how they did it, the paperwork, you know, so I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I wanna go visit their program, see how it's working out for them, being digital, and that should help us out. I mean, it's already been done right here in Rockland County, so.
how is the building department, software operating? Is everything being done paperless now?
Yes.
New application,
Yes.
new project.
Everything is on paper. We don't print anything, everything is in the system.
That's the system that we approved and put money into a couple of years ago.
Yes.
I think all that sounds really great. I think one of the things for me is, yes, the money was budgeted for that person. It seems like they're gonna be really great, but it would be really nice to meet people. You know, like people are being, you know, when they're being hired or something, it's nice to kind of put a face to a name so that you know who you're looking at and who's working. I think that's important to me. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm sure it is for everybody else so that we kind of know. We did agree on this resolution, but in the future, I think we'd like to kind of like have it be more aware beforehand.
I could not agree more, and that will happen. I mean, if you remember, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, I introduced the entire staff to the meeting. But you're right, that person should come to you before we hire them.
Or to one of our meetings or something so that we kind of know. I would really like that.
If it comes up again, absolutely. But I will be bringing them up. I didn't want to bring them today because it's a special meeting. But when Kelly comes on board, I'm going to invite them to one of the meetings so you can meet them.
But it seems like you've been waiting for them, everything, you know, to do this work that's gonna make everything run a lot smoother.
Absolutely, yeah, this is gonna be a
Which is
major
important.
improvement for us right now. And the whole purpose of having a full staff here, it sounds like we have a lot of people, but let me put it to you in a picture so you can see it. Before Richard and Benjamin, the two code enforcement came on board, the budget was for an assistant building inspector, another one. So I thought about it. I interviewed several of them. And the feedback that I was getting was not beneficial to us as a village in the long run because we weren't getting what, in my opinion, what we needed to for the salary that we were paying. So I work with Andy and I work with the clerks and the treasurer. Why don't we take the money and split it and get two code enforcement? So we get two for the price of one that could do the similar work. And take two people that are just beginning so we can train them properly according to our needs here in Nyack. They're not coming with the previous experience, which sometimes is good, but sometimes could be bad.
Mhm.
Why don't we take them? I'll train them personally to what the needs are here, and then we can move those people through the ranks eventually. And who knows? Those gentlemen, the way they're working, one of them could be a chief building inspector in the future. By that time, they'll have so much knowledge that nobody else out there can beat that position but one of them. Because they have all that knowledge gained from the beginning, from scratch, for 10, 15, whatever number of years it is. And that's my goal. I want to look into the future to make this an example in Rockland County as a building department. We want to be at 100% in everything. And it's a hard work, it's painful, and even the community finds it painful, but it's a change, and everybody receives change. But I assure you, if we continue in the process that we're doing now, you're going to be proud of that building department. You will be proud, even when I'm not here. And somebody are going to be able to pick it up and just keep running with it. And that's the idea. You shouldn't have to come and reinvent the wheel every time you get a new building inspector doing something different. No, it's all in place and it's solid. Just follow the process. And that makes it easy for the community and all of us. So that is my goal. But, it takes time. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of hours. And this is why it has taken so long to get the program at 100%.
We had a meeting with the software people Wednesday, where we sat down with them for an hour and went over the program, saw how it worked. I thought it was fairly robust in what it's able to do in terms of people filing for their building permits. I think it's a little clunky, like interface wise, like it's not the most intuitive kind of interface, but I think people figure the way around it. And a lot of the people that go to it are going to be repeat players. So, the more they do it, the more they'll figure their way around. And obviously the back end of it, you're all repeat players, so you'll learn the back end of it. One of the things that took so long was the fact that the software had not been adapted for New York before. And so they had to adapt not only to our code and put our codes in and everything like that, but also certain aspects of New York practice that they had not had to implement in their software before. So that was one of the reasons why it took a long time, longer than it really should have, to get the software operational. But it's there now, so that's good.
And I'm being very picky. I mean, I'm changing things, and I know I have to, do something in a certain way. And then when I start playing with it, I say, it really doesn't work. So I have to go back. Listen, you need to change this again. So
Are we still paying for these changes, or are these part of the contract?
They're doing a lot of it for free.
Okay, good.
They're doing a lot of this stuff for free, additional for us. So that's the reason why I don't want a program like the one that we had before that is general. It doesn't work. You need something specific to our needs. And further, my goal is to recommend to you as a board in the future, once we get this program to a point that everybody's comfortable, extend it to other departments. So we all using the same software. They got other modules that they can use for DPW, for water department, for treasurer. And this way, we all using the same software, and we are interconnected. We can all see each other's information. If DPW needs to go get a street opening permit that is attached to what, project that we issue a permit for, we can see the continuation.
That would be great.
Yeah.
How everything interplays one with the other.
And it's applicable to the different
Yes.
departments?
Yes, yeah, we can add those modules, but it's too early for that, I agree, we shouldn't do that yet. Let's get the building department at 100%, get comfortable, and then look at the other modules in the future. And that's what I like about this program. And when you first look at it, it looks like overwhelming, there's too much info there. But that's because it has the ability to add. And as you adding, then those things that are blank today, those will come into play. And you'll be able to see that. The other thing that we're doing is to get an actual inventory of the village. The fire inspectors and the code enforcement officer, when they're doing their fire safety inspection, they capturing all the information of each individual property. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many square footage, when it was built, all of this, and we put it into the system, into the property file. Now we know exactly what the property is all about. And when an applicant fills out an application, they don't have to put that information anymore because the system will populate it for them. Right now, we asking for that info. We are taking it because it's better than nothing, but we're not sure it's 100% accurate. A lot of times I need to change it in the process when we start doing the inspection. But now we'll have it because we put it in. And now we know what every property is. That's gonna be beneficial for the fire department also. I like to get them out.
Oh, look at you with the.
Yeah, right.
Like it's on cue, like, oh, the fire department is just going by.
I can attest-
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
I can attest to the fact I actually have to go into the software from my application for my home. So as Joe said, it was a little bit clunky, right? Had to figure things out. But the Mary and they at the time, they helped me along.
Yeah, and as I
What
started,
answer?
yeah, some people that are having issue, we're gonna set up a kiosk. In the building department with a computer. Those that cannot do it at home or don't have a computer or have an issue, they can come and sit here. And we'll train them how to use the system.
Can I ask you a question? And this is something that I get. How are we in terms of mid-budget year revenues and expenses for the building department? Are we gonna get a interim report?
Yeah, you're about to go into the budget season, so pretty soon you're gonna see a financial report,
Okay,
basically through, I guess, Q3. Pretty close.
yeah, because I like to see how, because we're adding staff. Really, I want to see, I don't want to be a net negative. I always want to see a net positive.
You will be getting a monthly report from the building department. Now we're putting that together. If you want to give me some feedback on the kind of information you want on that report, I'm putting that report together and you'll get it every month. So either to Andy or directly through me, just tell me, look, man, we like to say this. We can add whatever you want on that report. So I'm gonna come up with a template that I feel you should know. If you want any more, let me know.
Okay.
And I'll get that to you every month, all right? So you can keep track of what's going on. And then at the end of the year, you get an overall report. I don't want to take a lot of your time, but I want to give you as much info as I can. The other thing is, the county eliminated a certain position from us that we haven't been using in 3 consecutive years. So although we are adding, but we really are balancing because there is several positions that are now eliminated from the building department. One of them is safety, fire inspector, part-time, eliminated. Code officer 1, part-time, eliminated. That's 2 positions. We can always open them, but right now they're eliminated. Court, part-time. That was eliminated, but that was reopened for Christian, so he took that position. And then clerk typist part-time was also eliminated. So we eliminated 3 positions in the building department. That comes out of the budget.
Were they ever filled?
We had them filled at one
Mhm,
point,
at
yeah, they
one
were
point.
filled at one point. But now since
All of those positions, were they
Yes, sir.
filled at the same time, or is it just
they've
here
been,
and there?
I don't know about the part-time fire inspector, I never seen one here, but at one point you have one. But you did have a part-time code enforcement officer while I've been here. But since I took over the department, I haven't used that position. So those positions are eliminated now from the budget. So there is a balance. Yeah, we added 2 code enforcement, we added a part-time, but we also reduced in other area. So that's how we keep in the balance in our budget. And this is from the county coming direct. Okay, the last item that I have that I'd like to discuss with you is Mary, our secretary. She is also a land use secretary. She handles all the boards, planning, zoning, to review, and even your board whenever I bring you to come here. We have been talking back and forth with her title and her position. She likes to be redesigned or reallocated to a different position, which is the land use. Let me get you the correct title. It's a sort of title in the county, secretary to planning and zoning boards, rather than a senior court typist. She like to be separated from the union, to have a position that is negotiable separately. She will be attending meetings, she will be handling strictly the boards, Now that we have other members that we're gonna be handling the phones, the front desk and all this other stuff, I want Mary out of that and concentrate directly into planning, zoning and architectural review. That it has become extremely important that we have somebody completely focused on that only. Well, there have been so many projects and so complicated projects. It's a lot of things you need to keep in line. You need to keep track of money, advertising, making sure that we get the plans on time. I mean, it's a lot. So we need somebody dedicated to that position going forward, especially now that we are going digital and so in everything else in the building department. So I like to ask the board to allow this for me to go forward and try to put this together through the county. Try to use the same title that is there now and allow Mary to be awarded this position.
This is something you proposed or she proposed?
The two of us, I brought it up to her and then she said that that's definitely what she wanted to do. One of the things she's working out of title now because she's doing clerk typist work, but she's also doing this work, which she's been doing it all along. So technically she's working out of title.
Okay, and the work that she's currently doing, there's existing staffing that will cover that work. So it's not like she's leaving a gap that's gonna have to be filled by somebody else.
That is correct. No, we don't have to get additional.
And plus, I imagine the software has eliminated some of
Yeah,
the
and
work that she used to do.
That's where Kelly and Kristen want to pick up all the other stuff that she's doing.
Okay, and the benefit would be for the process of having somebody working directly for the land use boards would be just efficiency of the land use boards?
Efficiency, more intimate with the projects, more professionalism focus, guiding the project properly, dealing with the applicants. It'll take a big load off of me. I got too much hands-on everything, which I'm happy doing, but going forward in the future, I think the chief building inspector should be more of a manager rather than so much hands-on everything. I should be able to rely on my staff. They're all professionals, and I should gather information from them rather than me having to do everything. They should do it on their own and report to me, and then I should be able to manage it. Right now, my hands is everywhere.
And there's a change in title and she's gonna leave the union and become is that a management role? That's what's considered to be
Yeah,
a management?
there's a assumed pay increase as well, so I was thinking we should have that as part of your budget review process.
Okay,
Into
we know approximately how much is gonna be changed?
I feel like we need to draw a line somewhere here when we're talking about an individual.
Okay,
Maybe compensation is the line.
okay,
It's a civil service question right now. Her existing title doesn't cover some of the duties she does.
fair enough.
There are more accurate titles out there. They tend to be management confidential and outside the union. It does come with a price tag. And so there's some considerations of funding
Okay,
as well.
all right.
And this isn't something that's like time sensitive, right? Like we can.
Yeah,
get
we
to
don't have to
discussions
decide
for the-
today, but at least give me the okay to go ahead and investigate, move on, put it more together for you. I took the liberty of putting a small package so you can start getting some information on Mary and the position itself. And then any question you have further, definitely let me know.
Thank you.
All right, so it's now what, we're at the end of February, mid to end of February, we start a budget process in April.
Yeah, we've started.
So it's 6 weeks away from, well, you started your end of the budget process already. We're gonna start reviewing it in early April, right?
Yeah, you're likely, I think, next meeting, I'm gonna ask you to set your budget hearing for April 9th.
Okay,
It has to occur before the 15th by state law,
okay,
and the budget has to be adopted before May 1st.
Okay.
So.
Can we just ask for like laughs? What happens if we don't actually get our budget done in time?
I don't know.
no one's ever done it.
Yeah.
When the gods come down and just strike us.
I mean, genuinely, because like the state their budget goes over all the time, so I'm like, what is truly the penalty for us? Like, but it's not important.
There'd be a lot of sort of friction there because the treasurer has to set up the
Yeah.
fiscal year
Not that makes
and
sense.
close things out.
All right,
Bond rating, maybe.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
way
it makes
it's
us
just-
bad.
Didn't adopt your budget by May 1st, but I get a little.
Yeah.
All right.
Those make sense, anyway.
I have to, all right, any other comments or questions on this? So we will, my sense is I think this is a reasonable situation. We should certainly put it into the budget and we can approve it as part of the budget process when we get to that point.
Okay.
They're good with that?
Mhm.
Chairman will agree then?
Yeah,
Consensus?
not that I object to it, but as I asked you before, to get the lay of the land in terms of the revenues and expenses. Sorry, in the building department. Of course, we seem to be adding, but I'd like to see what our revenue is and make sure that it's at the very least balanced. I'd like to see, money coming out of there for the village. So I'd like to see that first before I personally would commit to any.
As I mentioned, we already eliminated 3 positions that was in the budget.
Yeah, but those 3 positions were,
But it was like the
nominal.
part-time,
They were once in a day, they were a couple of years ago, whatever. That
they
doesn't
were in the
mean.
budget, the problem they were in the budget, and that now they off.
They've got-
But yeah, I will provide you those numbers so you can see the balance.
This is executive session, we're gonna take a call, so, thank you.
That's one last item, trustee Carney has asked for the evaluation on the leaf blowers that we have written up, so
Okay, great.
and we may want to share with the rest of the board, sure, we want it for yourself.
Okay,
Okay.
why don't you email, can you email that to us?
Yeah.
Just email us the report. All right.
This will be a relatively quick executive session, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, okay.
County
Yes, I got it.
Association,
Okay, well, let me just, we public comment, we got through everything.
They directly.
All right, can I get a motion to move into executive session?
Motion.
Discuss pending
Second.
litigation.
Discuss pending litigation.
Second.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're gonna go into executive session, which means we turn off the camera